Hello everyone, I am Prajwal Ghatol and today we are going to start a series of videos on nervous system. This will be the first part of the video which will cover definition and classification of nervous system. So let's start the video. The nervous system detects and responds to changes inside and outside the body. Together with the endocrine system, it controls important aspects of body function and maintains homeostasis. Nervous system stimulation provides an immediate response, while the endocrine activity is in the main slower and more prolonged. The nervous system consists of the brain, the spinal cord, and peripheral nerves. Organization of the nervous tissue within the body enables rapid communication between different parts of the body. Response to changes in the internal environment maintains homeostasis and regulates involuntary functions, example blood pressure and digestive activity. Response to changes in the external environment maintain posture and other voluntary activities. Organization of the nervous system, or we can say the classification of the nervous system. With a mass of only 2 kgs, or we can say 4.5 pounds, about 3% of the body weight, the nervous system is one of the smallest and yet the most complex of the 11 body systems. This intricate network of billions of neurons and even more neuroglia is organized into 2 main subdivisions: the central nervous system and the peripheral nervous system. Neurology deals with the normal functioning and disorders of the nervous system, and a neurologist is a physician who diagnoses and treats disorders of the nervous system. The first subdivision of the nervous system is the central nervous system, or the CNS. It consists of brain and spinal cord. The brain is a part of the CNS that is located in the skull and contains about 85 billion neurons. The spinal cord is connected to the brain through foramen magnum of the occipital bone and is encircled by the bones of the vertebral column. The spinal cord consists about 100 million neurons. The CNS possesses many different kinds of incoming sensory information. It is also the source of thoughts, emotions, and memories. Most signals that stimulate muscles to contract and glands to secrete originate in the CNS. Another subdivision of the nervous system is the peripheral nervous system, or the PNS. The peripheral nervous system consists of all nervous tissues outside the CNS. Components of the PNS include nerves and sensory receptors. A nerve is a bundle of hundreds to thousands of axons plus associated connective tissue and blood vessels that lies outside the brain and the spinal cord. 12 pairs of cranial nerves emerge from the brain and 31 pairs of spinal nerves emerge from the spinal cord. Each nerve follows a definite path and serves a specific region of the body. The term sensory receptor refers to a structure of the nervous system that monitors changes in the external or the internal environment. Examples of sensory receptors include touch receptors in the skin, photoreceptors in the eye, and olfactory or smell receptors in the nose. The PNS is divided into 2 divisions, the sensory and the motor divisions, as you can see in the figure. The sensory or the efferent division of the PNS conveys input into the CNS from sensory receptors in the body. This division provides the CNS with sensory information about the somatic senses and the special senses. The somatic senses include tactile, thermal, pain, and proprioceptive sensations. And the special senses include smell, taste, vision, hearing, and equilibrium. Now, the other division of the PNS, that is the motor or the efferent division of the PNS, conveys output from the CNS to effectors, that is muscles and glands. This division is further subdivided into a somatic nervous system and an autonomic nervous system. The somatic nervous system, SNS, conveys output from the CNS to the skeletal muscles only. Because its motor responses can be consciously controlled, the action of this part, that is SNS, of the PNS is voluntary. The autonomic nervous system conveys output from the CNS to smooth muscles cardiac muscles and glands. Because its motor responses are not normally under conscious control, the action of the ANS is involuntary. The ANS is comprised of two main branches, the sympathetic nervous system and the parasympathetic nervous system. With a few exceptions, effectors receive innervation from both of these branches, and usually the two branches have opposite actions. For example, neurons of the sympathetic nervous system increases heart rate and neurons of the parasympathetic nervous system slows it down. In general, the parasympathetic nervous system takes care of rest and digest activities, and the sympathetic nervous system helps support exercise or emergency actions, so the so-called fight and flight responses. A third branch of the autonomic nervous system is the enteric nervous system, ENS, an extensive network of over 100 million neurons confined to the walls of the gastrointestinal tract. The ENS helps to regulate the activity of the smooth muscles and glands of the GI tract. Although the ENS can function independently, it communicates with and is regulated by other branches of the ANS. Okay, so that was the classification of the nervous system. Now let's look forward to functions of the nervous system. The nervous system carries out a complex array of tasks. It allows us to sense various smell, produce speech, and remember past events. In addition, it provides signals that control body movements and regulates the operation of the internal organs. These diverse activities can be grouped into three basic functions: the sensory, that is input; integrative, that is process; and motor, that is output. The first is sensory function. Sensory receptors detect internal stimuli such as an increase in the blood pressure or external stimuli, for example a raindrop landing on your arm. This sensory information is then carried out into the brain and spinal cord through cranial and the spinal nerves. The second is integrative function. The nervous system processes sensory information by analyzing it and making decisions for appropriate responses, an activity known as integration. The third is motor function. Once sensory information is integrated, the nervous system may elicit an appropriate motor response by activating effectors, that is muscles and glands, through cranial and spinal nerves. The stimulation of the effectors causes muscles to contract and glands to secrete. The three basic functions of the nervous system occur, for example, when you answer your cell phone after hearing it ring. The sounds of the ringing phone stimulates the sensory receptors in your ears, that is sensory function. This auditory information is subsequently replayed into your brain where it is processed and the decision to answer the phone is made, that is the integrative function. The brain then stimulates the contraction of the specific muscles that will allow you to grab the phone and press the appropriate button to answer it, that is the motor function. With this, we conclude our session. Thank you for listening. I hope you understood it, and if you liked it, please share it with your friends and spread knowledge. Thank you.